Hello and welcome to Driving Double Feature Podcast. I'm Nathan.
I'm Ryan.
And this is the podcast where we talk about 2 movies a week every Tuesday and Thursday. But before we get into this week's episode, I want to talk to you about our Patreon. If you head over there, you can hear even more stand-up from Ryan. He actually gets a lot of inspiration from the Dice Man himself, who we might be talking about later today. So if you want to hear some Dice-like comedy, Ryan's going to be dropping some great stuff over there. But getting into this week's episode, that's right, guys. The long-awaited, we're finally doing it. Brain Smasher, ... a love story. From 1993. Directed by Albert Pyun, who we've covered on the channel before. Do you remember what movie we covered?
I thought I did, but I
It's
can't
your
remember
it's your
offhand.
favorite genre movie.
Pop movies?
Huh? No. Comic book movies.
Mm, that's right. I don't remember.
Captain America. He directed Captain
Oh,
America. Wow, such a
oh
notable
yeah,
movie.
right. Starring the little boy from Deliverance, all grown up.
Yes, yeah. I was hoping that we would see that character keep coming up in these movies, but he doesn't show up in Brain Smasher.
You wanted
Um,
the kid from Deliverance in this,
yeah, I want the kid from Deliverance in every
like,
movie.
like he's just like out there playing a banjo, like on a street corner.
Yeah, I mean it's Oregon, so I mean I don't know. I think it fits.
Oregon.
That's how he says it in this movie.
I am from
Hey,
Oregon.
I'm from
Can't you tell by
Oregon.
my Oregon accent?
It's so stupid. So yes, this movie does star Andrew Dice Clay, who was a very controversial comedian in the early '90s, and he was in a few movies, and this is one of them. Let's hope he does a better job than he does in Blue Jasmine, because I mean, garbage performance, right, from a great movie. Otherwise, I don't. I'm just like
Did you
I'm doing some
did you
weird
really did you?
sarcasm.
I was like, did you not like his
No,
performance in
no, he
Blue
was
Jasmine?
great. He's great in Blue Jasmine, and Blue Jasmine's a great movie. I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm my sarcasm like drifted in and out there. Sorry, folks. This movie also stars Teri Hatcher, who we have covered before. She was in The World Is Not Enough. Um, she
I thought
played.
she was in Tomorrow Never Dies.
Whoops! Tomorrow Never Dies. You're right. I've slipped up on my Pearson and Braun.
What's going on with you, Nathan? Is
It's a
this not
it's an awkward night. I'm sorry. I don't know movies, people. But
take
no,
away your movie King crown?
yeah, please don't. I hold on to it. No, so Andrew Dice Clay, if you don't know, I'm gonna insert some clips of his comedy in here. No, I'm just kidding. I, I feel like I
Hickory
shouldn't.
dickory dock, the
Little,
mouse.
little Miss Tuffet had a fat ass, right? That's like that's like his bit. He did
Little
like the
boy
nerd.
blue. He needed the money.
Yeah, exactly. See, that's all you need to hear about Andrew Dice Clay. And I thought this movie would be more of a comedy, and it tries to be, but it's actually more action focused than I was expecting.
It's a good, nice theme for this week.
It really is. Yeah, both of our movies pair really well together, actually. Like, and they're both well, Brain Smasher, not necessarily a flop. It was meant to be theatrical, and it went straight to video. If that tells you anything. This movie opens really weird because obviously they didn't know how to start the movie with Andrew Dice Clay being the lead because Teri Hatcher's plot is the most important part of this movie. So instead, they just had Andrew Dice Clay introduce the movie and narrate the plot kind of awkwardly. Yeah, she was a model, and nobody really liked her because she was kind of smart, and then describes everything that goes on. Because I think like they know the main attraction was because he was in the movie, so let's just have him narrate the beginning. But that scene does have one of the funnier bits. I did laugh whenever he's at the payphone and he gets a call and it's his mom. He's like, "Mom, how'd you get this number? I'm at a payphone." That made me laugh. I thought that was pretty good.
I liked how he was like, they call me the brain smasher. You'll find out in a type of thing. And
Hmm.
And I thought it was going to be like, like he killed a guy or something, like, or
Hmm.
something. But I mean, he just punches people really hard.
That's it. Yeah, it's not like he's like an action star or anything. He's just a bodyguard for a club, and he just hits people in the head. Well, he does the one too. He punches him in the balls, and then he hits him in the head. Um, but yeah, so but that we don't go back to that character for a little bit. Instead, we got to deal with Terry's plot, where her sister, um, played by got to get her name, but I know she's from the Warriors. Deborah Van Valkenburg, it plays her sister, who has a plant that can grant, um, how do they phrase it? Like ultimate power. And
Yeah.
there's a bunch of Chinese people, but the whole running joke with them is that that everyone says they're Japanese ninjas, and they have to correct them constantly. Um, I don't know about you, that joke got really, really tired fast because they kept repeating it over and over.
It was a little old.
Hmm.
Uh, the one time that I thought that it was funny
Hmm.
is like when they went over to Terry Hatcher's parents' house.
Hmm.
Or no, it was Dice's house, excuse me.
Yes, yeah.
And and he was like, Dad, there's ninjas. They're ninjas after me. They're from Japan. And then it's like, no, son, these guys are obviously from China. Can't you tell? And then the guy
That
was like,
was funny.
this is such a brilliant man. Like,
Yeah, that was really funny. Yeah, because he says he calls his wife. He's like, "What are you, uncultured?" She's these are Chinese men. What are you saying? Yeah, that I thought that was pretty funny too. Um, but yeah, so Teri Hatcher ends up with the flower because she doesn't want the Chinese people to get it. So this is a movie that takes place all in one night, and it's her running away from them, and she runs into a club, and guess what? Dice ends up there and is basically gets paid to protect her. Um, but like what we said earlier, I think this movie is not as funny as it wants to be, or is it even really trying? I feel like a lot of the focus
I
is
think
on
it
the martial.
is.
Huh? I
I
don't think
think
so
it
either.
is.
You think it is? Maybe I just
I
didn't think it
think
was that funny.
no, it's not that I thought it was funny. I think they were
Oh,
trying. I think they were trying for it to be a comedy, but it just didn't really work that well.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Because it's not really a funny movie. It has funny jokes. I will say, like, I don't think this is a bad
There's
movie.
funny moments, I'm not gonna lie, but it's not enough for I'm just like, like guffawing at everything.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a little off, especially because the action is not focused on our two leads. I feel like the movie focuses really hard on the main lead of they're not ninjas, the monks, Yuji Akamoto, which hold on.
We covered him too.
Yeah, I gotta see. He's in Karate Kid Part 2. Gotta see. No, it doesn't look like we have
I
covered
remember that
him.
episode we did.
Yeah. Oh, he's in the Truman Show.
I remember our Karate Kid 2 episode. That had such great views.
Yeah,
It's,
that
it's
and
a
our
shame.
favorite.
Such a shame we had to take it down.
I know we had to take it down due to copyright issues. Maybe one day. Maybe we'll just do a redux of it.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, a lot of focus is on him doing martial arts and fighting. So I do like this. This is something I do normally like in movies, is a one night movie, which this does. It's them running around Portland in the night trying to figure out how to like I don't even know what their main goal is. It's just to not get killed, right? They
Yeah,
don't even
well, she just kind of hired Dice to be like a bodyguard for her. And I
yeah.
mean, because like the whole thing was just basically just like, you protect me and I'll give you $500.
Mhm.
And she doesn't have it, but she has this watch, and that's like a running gag where it's like, my boyfriend, he gave me this watch, and they're just like, who gives like a $10,000 Rolex?
Yeah, yeah, and that's like a whole thing for the rest of the movie. Um,
Was there a payoff for that? Like, did they like mention anything about the watch or like,
I don't think so.
Because
Uh,
I thought that I was expecting like the gag to be at the end that it was fake or something. Like, because I was waiting for one of them to grab the watch and be like, "Yeah, this is fake. Like, this is worth
yeah.
nothing."
Or they need some quick money, go to the pawn shop, and it's like, this is fake. This ain't worth $10,000 or something like that. No, I don't think there's any payoff for that joke.
I didn't think so.
Yeah. I've tried to refresh myself a little bit on the plot of this movie. Uh, the Wikipedia for this is like the plot is just the beginning of this movie, and then like two like two little paragraphs for the rest of the movie. I won't say the movie's plotless by any means, but it definitely does. It does. It 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 feels more like just a moment to moment type movie. Just small things
I,
happen along the way.
it's not a very interesting movie. I'll just
Okay,
say
I'm
that. I
glad you
mean,
feel the same.
you know, because you think like on paper, it sounds ridiculous. It sounds like
Yeah.
Andrew Dice Clay is fighting quote ninjas,
Mhm.
like, and you know, he's just punching people, and there's like a bunch of stupid jokes in between. You kind of think in your head like, oh wow, this sounds kind of like a fun movie.
Yeah.
But then you watch it, and it's very by the books, like with a lot
Mhm.
of its action and a lot of its plot points, because it's just like group of. I mean, I would say like a majority of this movie is like the ninjas show up, you know, Dice kind of beats them up or whatever. They like there's some type of incident where like they get stopped. They go off and have like a little bit of a little bit of a moment together, and
Mhm.
then the ninjas show up again and then rinse repeat type of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that just gets a little tiring. This movie has potential. Is what I'm pretty much getting out of that. Like, you get why I picked this. Andrew Dice Clay in a movie called Brain Smasher: A Love Story. All right, that sounds like at least something interesting. No, it doesn't really play into like this weird title at all. Um, but there is that one part that I do think is funny. Is the part where he does visit his parents with Teri Hatcher, and they're like together, and she gets introduced to their mom, and they're like very iffy because she's a supermodel. Why would she ever be with Dice? And he ends up fighting with his mom and dad. And then he like schools her. Is like, that's real America right there. That yelling, that's a real family. We love each other.
That's Oregon style family.
Which is so weird. Why see they should have played into the bit of the absurdity, kind of like maybe the next movie of this whole Andrew Dice Clay being from Oregon. There's no way.
Well, what was the point of it being in Oregon? Like they don't like they make it like Portland, Oregon. Like they make it
Yeah, it's a big
very
deal.
known that this movie is in Oregon. It's like it's almost like Portland is its own character in the movie.
Yeah, I agree. If this was any other movie, it would, because it is a like it all takes place at night. They go around the city. I kind of like the aesthetic of like the nighttime city. Nobody's in the streets. I wish there was more of it. They do go back to Dice's apartment at one point to get his car back because the car's out front and she has to go upstairs to pee. So, he takes her up there, and then the ninjas show up. Sorry, the monks show up, and they knock the ninja. I keep saying it, I'm just like them. The monk through the wall, and then there's a funny bit where the old lady tries to do the 1-2, hits him in the balls, and she goes, "This ninja's got no balls." I don't know, that's kind of funny.
Well, there's that scene too, because that's his landlady or whatever,
Hmm.
and he punches the ninja, and like the ninja goes flying back, but he grabs the old lady, and I thought like she was gonna fall out the window too,
Hmm.
because the guy like falls out the window, but no, she's fine. But I thought she was gonna fall out the
I
window.
thought so too. I kind of wish it was like, God.
Maybe a little, maybe if this movie was a little zanier, then
Mhm.
maybe it would have been I think it maybe would have been a little better.
Yeah, I don't know why they went for something so cut and dry, especially with such a big comedian at the time in the lead. I feel like this movie could have really benefited from either having like an actual action star or being zanier. And I mean, like, Dice is fine, and it's the same with
No.
Hatcher. I mean, Hatcher's, again, I don't want to give her too much of a benefit. She's fine in this. I mean, she's just got to play a supermodel. Um,
I mean, like, I wouldn't say anyone's bad or horrible in this movie, really. But I mean, it's not like that's a compliment either.
no,
It's
not at
like,
all. No one stands
because
out.
no one really stands out in this movie, and it kind of just feels like, I mean, like, Dice is pretty much just playing dice.
Hmm.
I mean, it's just, and then his whole, there's nothing about him that's different from what like his on stage persona is. But I mean, I guess if you're putting Dice in a movie, that's kind of what you're expecting. Because I mean, like even in like Blue Jasmine, like you said, he's not like the Dice Man or whatever, but he's still got like the same type of like timing and like it's not
Yeah,
like he's playing this really big character or anything. He's just basically playing himself, but like a more like toned down version.
yeah, exactly. And I'm not saying that he can play serious. I just don't think this movie really. Well, first of all, it's not a serious movie. It's just kind of, God, it just doesn't work really. This is one of those movies, one of those times where I feel like there's not a lot to say because it's just so forgettable. And this movie has not been re-released in America, at least on Blu-ray or anything. And I think that's because it's just kind of a forgettable movie. I don't think there's
Just
that
fell
many people clamoring for it.
just fell through the cracks. Nobody cares.
Yeah, that's the way it feels. And of course, me, I have to be like, oh, look, let's pick this movie nobody's talking about, and then
Well, I
we go.
mean, I mean, if I were in your shoes, I mean, like you knew about this movie before I did, but if I would have seen like, oh, Andrew Dice Clay in a movie called Brain Smasher, like that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
But
something we gotta talk about it.
but I guess at the end of the day, more people would probably be talking about a movie like this if it was like somewhat interesting. Um, but the way the movie goes together after that whole night, going around, Teri Hatcher gets hit on by a man named Romeo, and there's a final showdown at the end of the movie for the flower, and it's a big action sequence, and Brain Smasher punches the dude in the face. And like the one time there's like a big special effect in the movie and it's horrifying is the main monk's face just smashed in, and he's like blind and he has these giant prosthetics on. Kind of a
Oh yeah, that's
disgusting,
gross.
yeah, it was really gross. And I hated looking at it because he talks. He's like, I will get you. Give me the flower. But the flower they had was fake the whole time, so it didn't matter.
Yeah. Well, that's the one time he did smash somebody's brain.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because doesn't Terry Hatcher go, "Oh, brain smasher," when she looks at
I
him?
since they called him Brain Smasher, I wanted somebody call him Mr. Brain Smasher, and he'd be like, "Oh, please, Mr. Brain Smasher is my father's name." Like, yeah,
That would, if it was written by a good comedy writer, then that would have been a joke. I feel like it's time for a remake. Oh, Albert Pyun directed and wrote the movie. Holy crap! Wow. I wanted to do a little bit of trivia for this movie. Like, I feel like it would be fun to ask you some questions about this movie, but I have almost nothing to ask about
what,
it.
what are you gonna ask? Ask
I
me.
don't know. I don't know. I think that would be. This is just an aside, honestly. I think it'd be fun to do trivia with these movies, but I have nothing to ask you about this movie. Um,
Oh, I mean, it'd have to be something like you look at like the trivia or something and just
yeah,
give like a random fact.
yeah, exactly. Does Brain Smasher even have an IMDb trivia section? Let's see. That is a good question. Is Brain
Okay.
Smasher the greatest movie of all time? A love story with kung fu, worth reviewing. Thin fun. Wow, a lot of 5-star reviews for this movie, just like right down the middle. Um, this movie
I
was
definitely want.
what country was this movie theatrically released in? Uh,
Uh, the Philippines.
that's close. Not really, but Brazil. It was theatrically released.
No,
I wonder if they're big fans of
Brett,
Andrew Dice Clay down there.
Brazil always gets the top picks.
Yeah. Oh, so this is an interesting fact. I did just say that Pyun wrote this movie, but actually Cyrus Voyris and Ethan Reef rewrote the script to this movie, and then their agent told them to take their names off the script because Andrew Dice Clay was starring in it. Can you believe that man had so much of a scandal behind him that they like took their names off?
Was
Do
it
you
that
think?
bad?
Yeah, do you think it's that? Do you think that's overblown? Like, I mean, like he was a mean comic, but like that's a thing.
Yeah, I can't imagine like he's that. I don't know. I've never really like watched like a stand-up special to Andrew Dice Clay, so I can't
Yeah,
say for sure. But
I'll be honest with
I
you. He's not really to me. I don't think he's that funny. He is very in your face with his comedy. I listened to a comedy album once from him called "The Day the Laughter Died," and that
my boy did it.
yeah, it's he gets on stage and he just is mean to people in the crowd and like nobody's laughing. That's why it's called that. It's like just completely unfunny, which is which is it kind of
That's
insane
that.
actually.
That's what I go for in comedy shows is just really awkward energy where everyone's super uncomfortable.
Yeah, there we go. That's what I want. That's why I don't go to comedy shows. I don't want to deal with crowd work. God, I don't want someone pointing me out in the crowd saying some garbage about me.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'll go in there wearing like a disguise, like with like the big nose and glasses.
That's gonna make you point it out more.
Uh,
Look at the freak in the
No,
glasses. The big
no, that's
nose.
they were supposed to conceal me.
No, they just made you stand out more with a big leather trench coat on and a big hat.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
perfectly
what I would
hidden
wear.
for the comedy show.
It's exactly. Nobody would ever suspect me.
Yeah, and if I sit in the front row, that's too obvious. He wouldn't go for me if I was in the front row of the comedy show. But anyway, we're getting off track. Brain Smasher is forgettable. Okay. I don't know if you have anything else to add about this movie, Ryan.
It's very forgettable. Um, Outside of a couple of entertaining moments, it's pretty much a not recommend for me.
Yeah. No, I agree. But Ryan, let's see if we can fix this up. What are we covering on Thursday?
Well, Nathan, we are going to be talking about the infamous Hudson Hawk, which is streaming on Netflix right now.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to watch that one. And if you want to email us, you can email us at drivingdoublefeaturepodcast@gmail.com. And be sure to check us out on all social media and everywhere you can listen to podcasts. Like, share, subscribe, do whatever you can. But until next time.
Until next time.